hij erg goed in heeft gegeven. Nou, hij staat klaar. Ik ga het er niet te lang over maken. We hebben hem een headset gegeven. Dus hij zal wel ergens aanwezig zijn hier achter de coulissen. Nou, hij komt deze kant wel uit. En we zijn buitengewoon vereerd dat hij hier is, dames en heren. Want ja, het gebeurt je niet iedere dag dat je clinicgevers hebt uit Australië die op je evenement komen. Hello, a very warm welcome.
Hello.
We're very honored that you're here from the United States where you live now, but from Australia where you come from originally. And well, we look forward to your performance. So
thank you. I'm glad you switched to English because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, everybody understands English, and if somebody doesn't understand it, we'll translate it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Don't worry.
Thanks so much.
And that is
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys all speak English because I don't speak Dutch. So hopefully that works out okay. So this morning I am here, and what I want to talk about today, as the thing says in the program, I want to talk about, there's an American philosopher named Wayne Dyer. And Wayne Dyer says when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And a lot of times with our horses will have some sort of a behaviour, and when they have that behaviour, we tend to look upon that behaviour as a bad thing, or something we want to fix, or something we want to change, something we don't like. And I think sometimes when we look at the behaviour that way, it makes us behave towards the horse in a certain way, which actually can make that behaviour worse. And so today we have Barbara and her 5-year-old Andalusian stallion. I don't know his name. Let's call him Diego. That sounds really good, doesn't it? Diego. Barbara, what's his name? Ideal, and in Spanish it's what? Ideal. Okay, that sounds good. He's beautiful, isn't he? I'm just going to let Barbara hang around here for a minute. So what he tends to do, and this is what I was hoping to cover today, I can only work with whatever the horse does, but the thing I wanted to work with this one is he bites a bit. Does anybody have had a horse bite them? Do you like being bitten? No. We tend to think of as biting as bad. And my wife bought a horse late last year, a new reining horse, and he tended to bite quite a bit. And like he was very like this, and very nibbly all over you. And in the past, I probably would have tried to fix it and say, stop it, don't do it. But what I decided with him was I changed the way I looked at the biting problem. And when I looked at that biting problem with him was, because it wasn't just me, it was the lead rope, he had to chew on the lead rope. And it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit like, I used to bite my fingernails, I don't anymore, but that biting the lead rope is it's a coping mechanism. And usually horses that bite a bit like that are kind of nervous. And so I wanted to look at it differently. I didn't want to stop him from biting. I wanted to figure out why he was biting and see what I could do to help him not feel the need to bite. Does that make sense there? Instead of fixing the biting, I want to know why he's biting. And with him, he was quite fidgety, nervous kind of a horse. But the other thing I found with him, and every horse since that is a little bit bitey, is I think horses are way more social than we give them credit for. And what I did with this particular horse is every time he went to put his nose over and touch me, I engaged with him. I put my hands on his muzzle and I just rubbed them around his muzzle like that. And initially I had to be quite quick not to get bitten because he was doing that. But I would now in the past I probably would have rubbed his muzzle, but rubbed it quite vigorously, like, oh, if you want to touch me, I'll touch you until you don't want to touch me anymore. But they kind of get to where they want to avoid you. I didn't want him to avoid me, I just wanted to take care of the need to touch me. So I just rubbed around his muzzle, and I had to do it I've got half an hour today, but I had to do it every day for probably 3 months before it made a difference. But then, he doesn't bite anymore. And it's quite a mental change to have a horse that wants to bite you, and you go, instead of trying to fix it, you want to go, hey, I want to engage with you. He doesn't look like he's biting right now, but when Barbara had him inside there, he was biting quite a bit. So I may not even get to work on the biting, depending on what, here is a little bit of it right. You see that right there? There's a little bit of it right there, yeah. I'm not sure if I want to work on the biting first, or I want to work on his attention first. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll have a look here. How's the biting going this morning, Barbara? He's too excited to bite? Okay. Well, I might take care of the excitement. Now, if you look at this horse's ears when he's going around, can you just walk around again for a second, Barbara? If you watch his ears I just want to watch his ears when he's going around, because what I found I mentioned my fingernails before. I used to bite my fingernails. I've bitten my fingernails all my life. I don't bite my fingernails anymore, and the reason I don't bite my fingernails anymore sounds like a strange thing, but I started meditating a couple of years ago. Does anybody here meditate? Any meditators? There you go, you, and you too. What I found was that when I was biting my fingernails, it was because I was thinking about something and I wasn't present. I was thinking about something else. Since I started meditating, I don't bite my fingernails anymore. And a lot of times, if you notice this horse walking around, for the most part, his ears are not on Barbara. Notice his ears, when Barbara pulls on the lead rope right there, notice his ears, for the most part, don't flick back towards her, and the ears are an indication of where their mind is. And so, in 600 BC, a Chinese philosopher named Lao Tzu said, if you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you are peaceful, you're living in the right now. All of the and he's been really good for a horse expo and a horse that hasn't been any places, but all that whinnying that he does, what do you call it in Dutch? Is there a Okay, when he does that, he's not mentally present right here. He's off somewhere else. And so what I'd like to do is just have him be a little bit more, present, have him think here a bit more. Okay, Barbara, can you just stop there for a second? So you might notice to stop. Barbara had to pull on the lead rope and he stopped. And see his ears, his thoughts haven't left over there. Does that make sense? He was walking along, looking over there. Barbara pulled on the rope and he stopped. And he's still thinking over there and he's still whinnying. Does that make sense? So what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of kind of meditating and get him to be a little bit more present. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm like to do. Barbara, can you just hand him to me for a second? Oh, before you do, actually. What I really like to try to have my horses do is have their thoughts follow the lead rope. Okay? So whenever I pick up on the lead rope, I'd like them to think here. I don't want to use the lead rope to physically overpower them. Okay? The horse's feet don't walk off in that direction. The horse mentally goes off over there and his feet go where his mind goes. What I want to do is get his mind a bit more here. So I'm less about controlling the body and more about controlling the mind. So can I just borrow him for a second? Can I just take him for a second? Thank you. So I'm just going to take this, oh hello. So I'm just going to take this lead rope. Now if he wants to engage me, I'm going to engage him. If he doesn't want to engage me, I won't engage him, that's fine. I'm just going to stand here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him make the first move. So he's probably going to walk off. And right there when he hits the end of the lead rope, I'm going to go, hey. And he goes, holy cow, where did you come from? Okay? And I timed it so that as he hit the end of the lead rope, not before, not 3 seconds after, but as he hit the end of the lead rope, and I didn't use this flag to whack him on the backside or anything, I didn't hit him, I got his attention back over here as he hit the end of the lead rope. And so I've done that once so far, and now I'm just going to stand here and see how distracted he gets. So when I have a horse that can't stand still, like he just walked off, the first thing I want to do is I want to say, I'm going to stand here. You can move around if you like, but if you get to the end of the lead rope, notice he didn't leave you mentally that time. He got over there and he came back. If you get to the end of the lead rope and you don't mentally come back here, I'm going to help you mentally come back here. But the only reason he would walk off is because mentally he had walked off. Now, right now he's mentally over there, but that mental pull is not strong enough to make his feet move yet. So I'm fine with that. But what I don't want to do is control his feet. Okay, I want to control his mind. I don't really want to pull on this thing to have him stay here. So right now, I'm just going to let him do whatever he wants to do, but the first thing I'd like him to do is be able to stand here without thinking over there. And like I said, he's thinking over there now. I don't mind that, as long as those thoughts don't become so strong that his feet, hello, how you going? That his feet follow his mind. And see, he still hasn't walked off yet. There's another time where I will do something to get his mind back here, and that's if his body runs into me. Okay? If his body goes to push me over, I will get his attention back here too. Now I'm going to do it for you right now. He's probably not going to do it. So let's say hang on. Let's see what he does here. Notice right there he walked around. He's not walking directly away from me. And he's still thinking about me. You see that? You notice his head bent and everything came back towards me? Hey there, how you going? And if he wants to engage with me, I'll engage with him. If he doesn't want to engage with me, that's fine. But what I don't want to do is really tell him what to do. I want him to be able to control himself. Everything I do with horses is they have to be able to control themselves. Because if you have to control the horse at some point in time, they're going to be so big and strong that you cannot control them anymore. Hello, mister. How you going? I'd like him to be able to control himself. And like I said, as long as he can stand right here with me, I'm good with that. If he gets distracted and walks off, you see what he just did? He went to walk off and then his ear went, oh, hang on. I forgot about you, but you're still there. When I first got a hold of the lead rope, he walked off and didn't really think about me, did he? So what I'd like him to do, he can do whatever he likes, but if he walks off, when he hits the end of the lead rope, it's very important if you do this. It's the same with anything. It's the timing of your aids. Okay? If he was to walk off and take the slack out of this lead rope, as he took the slack out of the lead rope is when I would redirect his attention back to here. So I'm not pulling on him. He'll walk off and he would pull on me. And as he pulled on me, I would redirect his attention back here. And I've only had to do it once so far. What I may do right now, because I don't have a lot of time, is I might just step over here. I might take the slack out of the lead rope right there, and then I go like that, and you're over there. You just had a bit of a lick in the shoe right there. And so I don't care who takes the slack out of the lead rope, but what I want to happen, when that slack comes out of the lead rope, I want his attention to come back here. Because if his attention is here, there's no drama, there's no problems. If his attention is right here, there's no bucking, bolting, any of the problems. Hello, mister, how you going? Any of the problems you usually find horses have. Horses have those problems just the same reason people have problems, just because we have anxiety, so he walks off, he hasn't hit the end of the lead rope yet. So this is a very simple exercise you can do. If you take your horse to a horse show and he gets all wound up, you can do this. And the reason, you take your horse to a show or somewhere and they want to run around, it's because they're mentally up. It's not that their legs are full excited, their mind is excited. So right there, hits the end of the lead rope and I'll just redirect his attention back over here. Notice his ears pricked too. He's like, oh, I forgot about you. And you might notice now, he's standing, when he stopped, he was standing over there. He didn't just walk on, hello. He didn't just walk over on top of me. Hey, mister. Now right then, he just did something very interesting. Notice right now he's looking at something, his ears are pricked. Right then, a second ago, he did something that was not looking at something. He looked away from me. I call them stress indicators, but a horse sometimes, they will get a little bit concerned about you and they'll turn let's say this is your horse's eyeballs, they will turn their eyes slightly and then they'll turn their head slightly and their ears don't press. Because they're not actually looking at something, they're looking away from you. He just did it to me right there. He kind of said, oh, you're a little bit overpowering. Your presence is a bit overpowering. So when he did that, I stepped back. And I stepped back to let him know I saw your concern. It's a tiny little thing, but it's a tiny little thing that makes a huge difference. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to actually get to where I don't have to, so this will be good, this horse is going to walk past, so he might get distracted by this. But I'm trying to get to where I don't have to control the horse. I want the horse to control themselves. And what I don't tend to do is wait till the horse gets out of control, meaning I'm riding him and we're at it. Now, so just right then, he didn't hit the end of the lead rope. He went up and, oh, hang on, Warwick's still over here. A lot of people ask me about, the other day I was riding my horse and something big and bad happened, what should I do then? Well, I really don't know what to do when a big bad thing happens. I know what to do in times like this when he's getting a little bit distracted. Oh, hello, mister, how you doing? Getting a little bit distracted and mentally leaving. This is, what he's done a couple of times here is being kind of run away at the walk. You know what I mean? He didn't run away fast, but he mentally left at the walk. And if you can get them to where they don't mentally leave, then their feet don't run away. Horses don't run away. Their mind runs away and their feet go with it. He's doing pretty good right here. So what I'm trying to do, now he came up so hard. Let's say he wanted to stand on top of me too close. He hasn't really done it yet. But if he did, what I want to do is get his attention. So what I wouldn't do is tell him to get back away from me. If he came too close, I might do something small, a little bit bigger, until right there, he stepped back away from me and looked at me. Did you notice that? I didn't direct any energy at him. So think about jumping jacks, okay? I just did something like that, enough to create some energy, but I didn't direct the energy at him. I didn't say, you get back away from me. Does that make sense there? Because a lot of times, especially stallions, he's a stallion, a lot of times stallions, you into that, and you can create a little bit of a fight right there, and then you can go, oh, well, he's like that because he's a stallion. But really, they're like that because we were like that. I don't want to start out any interactions with him by trying to be dominant over him. Does that make sense there? And if you don't have that, if you don't have that need to dominate them, you'll find they don't feel the need to dominate you back again. So I like this. There's other horses walking by and he's kind of controlling himself. Does this make sense to you, Barbara? The big thing I don't want to do, this is your biggest communication with your horse, okay? When you're on the ground. Or one of your biggest communications with your horse. I want to make sure every time I touch that, his thoughts come towards me. I really want him to think down there. Same thing when you're riding. If I pick up on this rein, I want his thoughts to come this way. If his thoughts come this way, his body comes this way. And so it takes out a lot of the wrestling out of things. But I'd like him to be able to control himself. Okay? I don't want to have to control him. I'd like him to be able to just hang out here on his own. I'd like the two of us to look like two horses in a pasture together. I'm standing here having half a sleep and he's standing there having half a sleep. You don't see two horses in a pasture looking like this. You never see a horse going, don't lean on me. Okay? And so I'd like it to be just a little bit more like that. But he's perfect for this demonstration because I don't have much time and he's not being terribly bad, but he's probably done enough things to where it's made a difference. But you've noticed I really only made that one correction at the start, and since then he's gone to walk off and, oh, you're still here, so he hasn't forgotten about me. So the big thing is you need them to be aware of you. Now, in the past I used to get them aware of me by being kind of firm with them. I found in the past what I used to do with horses, kind of fix the behaviour I wanted to fix, but also create other behaviours I didn't want, and then I'd have to go and fix those. I found doing things a bit more this way that I'm not creating any bad things, I'm only creating good things. So I might just go for a bit of a walk over here. And I might just stop here and see what happens. And he licks his lips, puts his head down. So he's mentally right here right now. And you might notice I didn't have to pull on the thing. Remember when you were walking along, you went to stop and you pulled on that, he physically came to a stop, but mentally he was still over there. Does that make sense there? And so it's kind of subtle, but I really would want to have to where, you know, see where his ears are right now? When I go, see that right there? As soon as I went to move, his left ear tipped towards me. A little bit before, Barbara, you actually stopped the body of the horse. He was no longer moving. He was still pulling on the rope and his ears hadn't flicked towards you. And I don't think the physical part is the part that we need to work on. It's the mental part is the part to work on. Because like I said, as long as his mind doesn't go over there, his feet won't go over there. If his mind stops, his feet will stop. And so, especially earlier on like this, I really want to try to get these horses to where they're a bit more connected to me. And connected to me because they want to be connected to me more so than obedient. In the past, I was very good at teaching horses to be obedient. In the last 3 or 4 years, I really changed how I've done some things. There you go. So if he wants to put his mouth on you, make sure you engage with him, because I think a lot of times these horses are actually like, hey, how's it going? What you doing? I have found that the more present you can be, like the more aware you are right here, right now, the less that happens. So he walks off, and what does he do right here? He bends. Did we notice he bent his body like that? It just looked like I rode him inside leg to outside rein right now, didn't it? Okay? But I didn't have to, because mentally he came back here. What? He's stunning. I love this horse. He's such a cool little horse. Especially, you know, he hasn't been to shows or anything, so he hasn't been in much atmosphere, and he's been really good. I don't know how much time I have left. Oh, it's got another 11 minutes on that. Okay, hello. So if he wants to come up and engage me, I will allow that. Because he's not running over me with his head, because he's engaging me. Let's say he walked up and stood kind of like that, then I would kind of go, hey, and I would create a bit of energy till his ears flicked towards me. But that, once again, that energy didn't drive him. He's very sensitive. That energy, I didn't drive it towards him. I didn't ask him to move. I just created some energy. So he steps back to kind of look at me. Kind of like if I was to walk up to you with my phone and said, read that. And you're kind of like, well, hang on, let me have a look at that. It was almost what he did right then. But what I don't want to do is have him get off me. A lot of times, you can get a horse to get off of you. You know, you maybe wiggle the rope, wave your flag, whatever. They can get off of you, but they don't mentally engage you, meaning they'll be obedient, they'll back up, but they'll tend to have their ears back. And I don't mean ears back as in pin ears as in mad. I mean ears back as in not present. They kind of get a little bit inside their heads. I really think horses they're a lot like humans, as in, like I said, they say if you are depressed, you're living in the past, if you're anxious, you're living in the future, and if you're living in the right now, you're peaceful. I think when horses are peaceful, they're living in the right now. And I think in the wild, they don't have the depressed part, they do have the anxious part. The bushes are moving. Is that a saber-toothed tiger? Do I have to run to save my life? Oh no, it's not, I'm good. They'll kind of go back here. Whereas I think being around us, we can give them a little bit of, for want of a better word, depression to where they go inside their heads. He's not one of them, he's good. But I think you can get a horse really quite obedient. I know I've done this in the past a lot. Got horses to be really obedient. But there's no spark there, you know what I mean? They're just kind of, yeah, okay, I'll do whatever you want. But they're not like, hey, how are you, sort of thing. And I think being, you know, the obedient one, hey, get back off me, you know, wiggle rope, things like that can make them a bit like that way. So what I'm really big on is every interaction I have with them, if I ask them to do something, I would like them to prick their ears. I'd like them, and it's not like I'm going to go, no, you didn't do that right. There you go. That's what I'm not going to ask them to prick their ears. But that really tells me, are they engaged with me? Or are they just kind of, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. Does that make sense there? And they're just little things, but like, just the way I got his attention back to me before, I'm actually taking this flag And what I would do in the past if he walked off was, when he hit the end of the rope, I would tap him on the hind end to make it move over. And if his hind end moves over, his head points towards me. So that's like a physical bringing him back to me. What I did with him was I waved that back. If you just watch his head here, so I'm going to take this flag. See that left ear's looking at it? He's a little worried about it now. What I was going to say was, wherever I put that flag, he tends to look at it. Does that make sense? So when he walked off and hit the end of this rope, as he hit the end of the rope, I just waved that to him to look at it. I didn't physically bring him back to me. I mentally brought him back to me. Does that make sense there? And one reason I like the flag is because you can be really, like, I can make it go away if I need to. You know, it just goes back in my pocket like that. But if I want to be really slow with it, I can take it and move it that slow. If I want to use the end of my lead rope to do that, I can't get this to go out there without putting that much energy in it. And with a horse like him, that's probably too much energy. It might bother him a little bit. Does that make sense there? That's why I like the flag. And, you know, I happen to have a collapsible flag that falls out of my pocket, but, you know, you can put a little thing on a dressage whip. This flag is cloth, so it doesn't make any noise. With one like him, it works perfectly. With a Gala horse, you know, you could put a plastic bag in because it has a bit of noise to it as well. But if you're going to use a flag, try to do as little as possible with it. It's not about chasing them around and getting all crazy with it. But sometimes not very often, but sometimes I'll put a plastic bag on here because when you could move it slowly and then right there it'd have a crinkling noise that will attract their attention. You think very good though, aren't you? Anyway, I haven't got to do much of the biting thing, but every time, if I've been near him, his muzzle's approached me, I've engaged it. Okay? I haven't been bitten yet. And the way I look at it these days, if I'm around a horse and I get bitten, it's not because he bit me, it's because I was not present. And so around the corner here we have Horse and Country TV booth. So I have a TV show on Horse and Country TV. I just actually filmed the third season of it. And one of the horses in the third season was this horse that bites at home, okay, that doesn't bite anymore. And one of the reasons he doesn't bite is because I'm very present when I'm around. He's very aware of what he's doing. And so I've got the biting cured. Well, when I went to film one of the episodes, I wanted to use him and say, look what I did, he doesn't bite anymore, but the camera's there. And if you've ever been filmed, if you're going to get filmed for your local TV station, that's a certain amount of pressure you put on yourself. If you're going to get filmed for a national TV station, that's a certain amount of pressure you put on yourself. When you're being filmed for Horse and Country TV that's going to be in the UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, that's a lot more pressure you put on yourself if you want to. And guess what? The day I went to film that, he was horrible. He was biting me again. You know why he was biting me again? Because I wasn't present. I was thinking about the camera and thinking about what I had to say. And I've got to get it, and it's got to be 11 minutes to the first break or 22 minutes to the second break. And he was like an alligator again, and he hasn't been that way for months. But because I wasn't mentally connected with him, I was scatterbrained about what we're doing. So it was good because I actually got to show all the things that I had been doing. I was going to do as a demo to say how he doesn't bite anymore. And he was all over me, and so I had to go through everything again right there on camera. And so that's a big part of it too, is I think horses are really good at reading our energy, our intention, and they know where our mind is. And I really start to think the biggest part of being able to work well with horses is being able to be present, to be right here, right now. How long have I got? I got 3 minutes. There's an old Ray Hunt saying. Anybody here ever heard of Ray Hunt? Yeah. There's an old Ray, he's one of the grandfathers of this sort of stuff in America. There's an old Ray Hunt saying that says, they know when you know and they know when you don't. And I always thought that meant they know if you know what you're doing and they know if you don't know what you're doing. If you're not really good with horses, they can tell. If you're good with horses, they can tell. Yeah, I think that's true. But I was reading an article a couple of years ago by a guy that worked for Ray Hunt for quite a while, and he said, you need to be aware of your horse's ears, you need to be aware of his eyes, you need to be aware of his nostrils, you need to be aware of his muzzle, you need to be aware of how he places his legs. You need to be aware of his breathing. You need to be aware of his tail. You need to be aware of all that. You need to know what all that's doing because they know when you know and they know when you don't. They basically know when you are present. And what I've found with horses that bite, the more present you can be, the less they bite. I really think the biting is, hey, over here, pay attention. No, you're not cooking dinner right now. No, you're not at work anymore. You're with me. Hey. And so if you can, this whole thing is supposed to be wanting to change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Think about when somebody said you've been bitten by a horse. Think about when you were bitten by the horse, what were you thinking about at that exact moment? Were you aware of everything your horse was doing, or were you a bit distracted about dinner, work, kids, husbands, what I'm going to do when I get off here, any of those sorts of things? And so I really found if you can be really, in order for them to stay present here, I think we really need to stay present here too. And I think being aware of all those little things can really help with that stuff. Right? I've got to stop talking here just a minute. My booth is number 68 in there. If you guys, I can talk about this stuff all day. If anybody wants to come in and have a chat afterwards, I'll be in there. But hopefully he's given you a little bit of an idea about how little you can do. And like, it didn't make much difference because there wasn't a lot to do. He's a sweetheart of a horse. But I think that very first interaction when he hit the end of the lead rope, didn't even know I was there, and then I redirected his attention back over here. Ever since then, he stayed relatively hard, and how are you going? He stayed relatively hooked to me. So hopefully if you can just take one thing home, maybe if that helps you change the way you look at horses that get distracted and things you can do to get them back to you. But you know, when he hit the end of that lead rope, I directed his attention back to you. Who's ever had a horse pull back when it's tied up? Okay? Where's their attention? It's going somewhere else and they hit the end of the lead rope. Instead of their thoughts, I really want to get their thoughts to follow this lead rope. So if you can do that, you teach them how to lead, you teach them how to steer, you teach them how to tie up, you teach them how to steer on the saddle, you teach them to lunge. You kind of teach them everything without even teaching them anything at all. And he's been wonderful. Barbara, would you like to take him back again? I think he's lovely.